Hello, what's up guys? Welcome back to 3D Code Academy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a cornrow braid hair in a Blender 5 from start to finish. Cornrow are one of the most beautiful and iconic African hairstyles. In this tutorial, we'll learn how to build them in a way that look clean, realistic, and professional for your 3D characters. We'll cover the essential steps, including hair sectioning, braid flow, shape control, and the styling techniques to help you to get better results inside the Blender. If you want to improve your character creation skills, this is a different tutorial, you don't want to miss it. So let's jump right into it. We open the Blender 5, so we go to new braid. This is my project we want to create a cornrow hairstyle. You can see that's where we left for our character series. I will select the scalp, the head scalp we created lastly. Okay, you will see this one. This is a head scalp. If you don't know how to create them, follow my last tutorials, you will see them, or you keep a comment there down to let me know so I can help you there. So I'll select the head scalp there, and I want to make sure that we press Ctrl A. We back to object mode, we press Ctrl A to make sure that's all transforms are clearly transformed. Okay, we go back to the scalp and we go for the edit for the object, and we press Shift A. We go for the curve, we go for the empty hair. So now we go to the scalp mode to create the hair generation. I'll press N. I want to use a symmetry mode so we can keep things very fast and procedure. So let's see. I want to explain how Cornrow look. So let me try to find the photos of them so you can see. Let me open. This is a cornrow hairstyle. So you can see that we can analyze. We have where this braid go like this, so we can have one layer of braid. We can see we have a detached attachment of the support. These types of hair go this way. We can call this a support. And we have little hairs above the face surface, like these ones. We're gonna create this. So let's jump to it and try to create those. So now I'll select add, where we can add our hair system, and make sure that we turn on the symmetry mode on so that we can make our work simple. Now we go for the curve shape to try to see. We can increase the length for the parameter of the hair, and we can interpolate with the length. I want to make sure that the interpolation is on. Make sure that the shape we create, we will sample the shape also. And for the point of the braid, I think it's good to work on above subdivision so we can manipulate it nicely. Maybe 30 is enough for me. And now I can try to create this, you see, because we work on symmetry mode, that's where it's up here on other side. So I'll select this. This is a comb brush. I can create the size and try to, but I can see that the length is not enough, so I can make it grow like that, and then I can make sure that I comb it, follow there. Maybe that's too long, so I can shrink it down by press Control, maybe somewhere there. And I want to make sure that it's arranged along the head surface, the scalp surface. So I will make sure that we are not, but it will be on above. I can decrease the influence of this, so we can control the parts. You need to make sure that we align nicely. I think that's good. That's good. And I can add another one there. Maybe somewhere there. You see? Because of that shape we created, that's follow the shape of that ones we created. So I can try to drag this out. So here also I want to make the length of it. So I will go back there and I can decrease the size of my brush so that it cannot interfere with the other. You see? Maybe somewhere there. And I can pull those to follow the head. I think that's good for the braid. So now I'll go to the change this to the here down. We can change to the geometry node editor so we can work on geometry node, and I'll go for the modifier tab, and I want now to manipulate this braid to create the braid. So now I can add another modifier with the geometry nodes, and I press N. Now I can call this braid. Let's call this a braid. Okay, you can see that it's named there. So let's use this node to manipulate our hairstyle. I always used to work on cycles for nice representation. So we see we are in a strip. That strips show how the size exactly for our viewpoints. So let's go back here and let's resize the shape of the hair strip. So we come here to hair curve profile, we drop down. Okay, now I want to decrease the size of this radius, and how I can use this, I can decrease either for this size here. I want to have a maybe somewhere there, and if it's not enough I can put 0.1 there. Okay, you see now it's very thin as we want. Now we want to have more hair to this one, so we can duplicate this hair with this modifier called duplicate. Let's find duplicate hair. This one. So we drop there and join to our link. You see we have 10 amount of this hair. Now you see how it's look. I want to use this as a 100 hair, like that one. And for the radius, I can want to use the radius we want. Maybe I can put 0.5. That's too big. How if we put 0.05? That's nice. Let's increase a bit. I want to 0. How about 1 there? Let's put 0.12. Maybe that. I'm impressed with that. So now we have a duplicate the hairs. Now it's time to create the braid. So maybe we want to see it nicely. I will change the hair material to principal hair BSDF so we can have the color of the hair. Now after doing this, we drop down the geometry node of braid hair curves, so we can drop down there. You see, now we create the braid style, but now we can come here and try to shape it, the size. We want to shape the size. We want to add a subdivision, and we can increase the radius of it, but I think 0.1 is enough for me. No, that's not enough. So let's try that to this where it was 0.1 and try to add the amount of braids. Maybe put it to 200. So something of this. Okay. Don't worry about this one. We'll fix it. So now we see that we create the braid there. The next thing we want to show is we can control how our braid starts. I want to start immediately from there. Imagine this one. So that's good. That's good. And maybe now, after doing this, it's time to add another layer of hair. That's called the support for this one. So we need to create the hairstyle of that come here. So let's remind you how it's look there. You see, we need to create this hairstyle. So let's go back and try to create those one. So I'll come back to the object mode and select the scalp, and I press Shift A and go for the curve. We go to the empty hair. Let's call this braid so that we cannot forget what we create. And here let's call the support. So I'll go to the scalp mode for the support and try to create the branches for the support. Okay, now I'll go to this add modifier, this add tool, and I go for the shape. I want to lower the length of it to 0.2. I think it should be okay, and I think everything will go nicely. I want to create this one, but I want to make it easy for me, so we symmetrize the function. So I'll come here for the top. Maybe I'll start here. You see, I want to start for this middle there. Maybe of that kind there. Now I'll go for my brush there. I want to comb this. You see, I want to comb this. Okay, for the sake of tutorial, I'll make it things very faster. So we manage the time. Okay, I'll keep pushing and align it nicely. Okay, maybe that's good. And then I'll come back here and try to add. Sorry, I'll come here and try to add this. So I'll come and try to comb it, and I can make it large. Follow this. Sorry. I'll make sure that I put this. Okay, I'll come here and try to make sure that it's not for the shape of this one first, so I can make it, and I can make your shape again so it can remember what I'm doing now. Sorry, Control Z. I'll go for this one, and now I can go to add this. Look sure that it's selected. Okay, now it's follow. Wow. Now you see, so that's I can come down there. So I can make it grow till it reach my point I want. Okay, this is what we created here. So now then I'll come and create the shape of this one. So I will come here and make sure that we unselect the shape so we can create once again. So I can come here and try to I don't know if my scalp, sorry. Now let's shape this. So I can go back to this. So I need to make sure that it touches there. So we'll adjust later. So let's make, sorry, I need to make sure that it's for the shape now. So forget about the shape. Let's do manually. So I will attach this one there. Okay, now I can come. Okay, now let's change the influence of this so that it will not affect the other. Let me decrease the size of this. Okay, maybe that's good. That's good. That's good. I can add maybe another hair there and try to so now let's add the last one. This will be here line, this line. So I'll come here and I'll come somewhere there and try to add the hair. So let me shape this. So I can grow it. I can grow it. Okay, I'm doing roughly, but you can take your time there and try to do something so clean, so good. You got me? So I'll keep it for the sake of tutorial. I don't want to make the long tutorial here. Here we just get the concept and you can make it look nice for your work, right? For me, time matters. I can make it grow it. Make sure that it touches the braid. Okay, if the controls that make you do not work good, you must decrease the number of count so that it can have a lower subdivision that can work easy for you. No more point of controls. I think for me that's good. Maybe another thing, you can try to fix it. Fix. Maybe for me that's good. This is my style of doing this. And then here I come for modify. We create a new, call this support. And always keep on top of the deformation. So I come here for the nodes, geometry nodes, and make sure that the strip size of the hair is very little, low, so we go for hair curve and try to control the size of it. You can see that I want the root to be very small and the tip to be at high. So let's change the factor there. Let's call this, I want to be this one. And the shape, something I want to create this style. Maybe this one. And maybe for my shape, I think that's good for the radius. Let's decrease the size there. Try to play for your like. Maybe this for me, it's looking good. And now one thing I want to create there, maybe I want to comb it nicely. Maybe I can change the, let's say this one. I want to duplicate this to have more hair style, so I can duplicate this and I can change to this. You can see that's it's flow above the surface, so we need to make this down like this one. And maybe I can increase the number, maybe to 200, something of this. And I can try to, come on. Maybe put this to 5. Okay, maybe this. It's okay. Maybe 2.5 is a little high. Let's put 0.4 somewhere there. And let me put my radius to 0.7. Maybe 0.5. And I want to play with this factor a bit there. Now if that's what I wanted there, and I can add the distortion. I want to have a distortion, hair distortion a bit there, so I can go for the freeze hair house. I can put there, and I can uncheck this cumulative offsets, so I can try to put the distance a bit there. What I put 0.5. No, this. I want this at 0.5. That's too big. Put 0.3 there. And I can lower the factor. Maybe I can make 100 ohm, so that's not crunching my PC. Now I can go back to the modify to the material, and I want to put this as a hair material. You see? Maybe for the radius here, I can try to, no, something of this. The curved profile, okay. Maybe here we can put this to 6 to 8. Let's try 8. Maybe I can put this one like 0.2 there and try to see it through. Maybe 1.4 would be nice. And I can duplicate the hairs there. So just try to find. Let me uncheck this, and you can see. But trust me, this is only look this when you are in view and in viewport. But when you work, when you render it, it will be looking nicely. but for the sake of recording and for my computer don't crashing, I'll not go for further because it's recording and I don't want my computer to crash. So let me first save it before it's crash. Yeah, I will save this. You see how, look, we did a little work there. We did some work there, so that's our computer suffocate. Okay, you see what we create? Because let me change this for the EV, maybe it will be look very simple. Maybe somewhere there. Oh, let me change to the side because I want to see my eyes how it looks. And I go for the studio. And I make sure that I never select the scalp or all this below. So you see my model, but try this on look not good in a viewport, but when you render it out it will look nicely. So let me try to render it. Before render I save it because I know it might crash when I'm recording this, and I press F12 to okay, I'm not want this from the front. I press 0. Oh, I press N so that I can make a rotation for my light there. I want to look somewhere to this point there. And I can press render again for F12. So let's make it look. Okay, you see now that's how it looks. Let me try to, you see? So maybe I can try to fix this, maybe make it very, for this freeze I can make it very little freezing, and I can try to fix it so I can see how it's look. So maybe I can come here for this freezing. I can decrease the number of the photo freeze. Maybe for the distance I can make very low, and try to render it out again. Okay, now I might add the hairstyles, little hairs from the front, so that we can finish our hairstyle. Okay, let's go back to the creation panel. Press 1 for the front. So let's try to add this style of hair, as you see this. So I might come here for the scalp there, and I can make overlay so I can see through. For this scalp, I can press Shift A to add another empty area. So I will call this little hair. For this little hair, we go for the scalp. So let me look for my reference where I can put this. I can put this to down there, and I can find the direction of it. So I can come back here. Maybe you can add this. Maybe length will be 0.3 maybe. I try something of this, and let me try to comb it down. So maybe you can go like this somewhere there. I can add another. Sorry, maybe there. And we can comb it down there. Maybe this one I want to spread a bit there. No, I need to make sure that we're in symmetry mode. I don't want to work this. So let's apply the symmetry mode. So I can add another there here and try to comb it down there, something like this. Maybe I can, for this here, I can make it go like this. And I can comb this and add there. Come on, come somewhere there. Maybe here I can comb this and then try to comb something like this. Maybe this I want to pull to like this one there. Okay, maybe this is fine. Maybe you can add in this, go like this. Maybe I can add another here. Maybe you can hand comb this there. But for this I want to go somewhere like this. This will be like this. And maybe I can come and shrink this one. Okay. And I make sure that it touch there. The surface. Maybe of this type. And I can come here for the modify and try to add it. Geometry node. Let's call it face hair. Face hair. And I can put on top of this. And now here, what we're gonna do, I'll add a set curve profile and try to attach there. And I'll make this hair very little ones. Really very little. I want to make very little hairs here. So now I can go and try to duplicate this. Go to duplicate this. And I can reduce the number maybe to 2. It's okay. Okay, don't worry much about this. Okay. Maybe that's okay. I need to make this to add a freeze so that I can make it spread this. And I can turn off the cumulative. Maybe that's okay. And I can come here and add a material for the hair. So we go principal BSDF. So I will save it before it's crash. Okay, I'll turn back to this and remove the overlays and try to see what we have created. Maybe I can increase the number to 10. You see, something of that kind. I think that's good. Okay, you can try to fix every time. You can try to fix it wherever you like. But for me and for the sake of tutorial to make it not long, okay, let me try to render it so you can see how it looks. So I will allow the material the rendering and check the scalp and press F. Let's see for the view camera, and I press F12 to see. Okay, you see what we have created. Okay, so with these stats we have come to the end of this tutorial. If you found it helpful, please don't forget to like, comment and support the channel and help this video reach more people through YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.